You ever plug in a scan tool and the car instantly tries to scare you? That's exactly what happened with this 2018 Chevrolet Traverse. Customer walks in, check engine light on. Another shop already warned them, your transmission might be failing. And honestly, I understand why. Because the codes read U0100. Lost communication with engine control module, and P0700, transmission control module requested MIL. Now, if you don't understand how modern vehicles communicate, that sounds terrifying. Transmission codes almost always mean expensive repairs, right? Except, this is where diagnostics separates parts changes from technicians, because P0700 does not actually mean a transmission problem. It means the transmission computer is complaining about something else. Modern vehicles don't operate as separate systems anymore. They operate like a computer network. Inside your car, every module is basically a laptop connected to the same Wi-Fi, except instead of Wi-Fi, it's called the CAN network. You have the engine computer, the transmission computer, ABS module, steering module, body module, and they are constantly talking. The transmission does not decide shift timing alone anymore. It needs information from the engine computer, engine RPM, throttle position, torque output. So, what happens if the transmission suddenly can't see the engine? It panics, and that panic code is P0700. So, the real clue was not the transmission code. The real clue was U0100. U0100 means something very specific. The engine computer disappeared. Not failed, not broken, it literally went offline. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They replace sensors. They replace valve bodies. Some shops even replace the transmission. But communication codes almost never start with mechanical parts. They start with electricity. Because a computer only needs one thing to stay alive: stable voltage. So I looked at live data instead of jumping to conclusions. And right away, I saw it. Charging voltage looked normal at idle, about 13.6 volts. Most people would stop right there. But modern cars don't fail sitting still in a parking lot. They fail under load. So I turned everything on. Headlights, blower motor, rear defroster, air conditioning. Then I turned the steering wheel, and boom, voltage dropped. Not to zero, not enough to stall the engine, but just low enough to do something worse. The engine computer rebooted. For a fraction of a second, the ECM shut off. To the transmission, it looked like the engine vanished while the vehicle was moving. Imagine driving 50 miles per hour and suddenly your transmission sees 0 engine RPM. That's an emergency. So it set P0700 and requested the check engine light. The vehicle wasn't suffering from a transmission failure. It was suffering from a charging system failure. The alternator had a weak diode and could not maintain voltage during load changes. And here's the important part. The engine kept running, which is why this problem fools so many technicians. Because the failure happens in milliseconds. Too fast for a multimeter, but fast enough to crash a module network. That is exactly how U0100 gets created. The ECM didn't die, it browned out. Low voltage caused a computer reboot. And once the engine computer drops off the CAN network, every other module starts reporting communication errors. So the transmission was never broken, it was blind. We replaced the alternator, fully charged the battery, cleared the codes, and road tested. No U0100, no P0700, no harsh shifts, perfect operation. This is why proper diagnostics matters. Modern vehicles are not mechanical problems anymore. They are electrical systems that move mechanical parts. A bad alternator today can look exactly like a bad transmission. And if you don't test voltage under load, you can replace thousands of dollars in parts and never fix the car. So, if you ever see communication codes, especially U0100, don't start with sensors. Start with power and ground. Because before a computer can control anything, it has to stay awake.